Good afternoon, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my beautiful rideshare revolutionaries. It's me, Gio. Y'all know the fuck it is. Alrighty. So I made a video a while ago talking about the Tesla Model 3 and why it is a bad car to use for rideshare. And that video got so much hate. Like more than I mean, I get a lot of hate on my channel. Uh, because I'm an opinionated person. I get it. I'm not the most likable. I don't always say like I go against the grain a lot on a lot of different topics. But I didn't I didn't I didn't expect that much. I just kind of I don't know. There was so much combativeness from the Tesla geeks from that video, right? And I really didn't expect it, so I wanted to clarify my position on it. Um, and first, I want to say my opinion of this video is not coming from someone who is a Tesla fanboy, who is a Tesla enthusiast, or anything like that. My opinion of Teslas are coming from the opinion of a full-time rideshare driver. I make my money driving. This is how I pay my bills. This is how I pay my rent. This is how I pay my insurance. I make my money driving, right? Like I don't have a job and then I drive on the weekends for fun. No, like I make all of my money driving. Okay, so um, first I want to show you guys my issue with the Tesla 3 in that video was the door handles, and I got so much hate for it, so much hate. And then a driver actually left a comment talking about his experience with the door handles, which I'll leave over here. Right, I'll let you guys take a look at that. And then sorry, I got my notes right here. I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to be too disorganized. So in this video, I'm going to examine two things with the Tesla Model 3. I'm going to examine, I'm a very visual person. I think you guys got to see how my hands work so I can hypnotize you a little bit, right? While I pull my Doctor Strange magic on you. Okay. Um, so in this video, we're going to talk about the pros and the cons. And I haven't decided what column is going to be which yet on the side of me, but um, and these are just, like I said, these are the opinions of a full-time rideshare driver. And I'm going to talk about how you have to be able to weigh the options, right? Because rideshare is a business, and how the Model 3 could be the perfect rideshare car, but it's not right now. Okay, so first, I want to talk about the pros of having a Tesla Model 3. First thing first, dude, Teslas are awesome. Like I took a very quick ride in a Model 3 the other day, and someone commented I looked happy as a clam. I was happy, and I didn't exactly fit in that car that well. I'm a 5'11", 220-pound male. Um, not the if I mean I was comfy, but as a driver, I'm not sure if the people sitting behind me would be comfy because I'm a kind of a big guy. Excuse me, kind of a big guy, but I mean everyone's different. Like if it was just someone in the backseat, I think it'd be okay. But the driving experience was very enjoyable. Like Teslas are super cool. They're super neat cars. I don't have anything wrong. I don't have anything against Teslas. I don't think they fit in well for rideshare. But anyway, yeah, Teslas are super cool. They're super fast. Um, and that leads to my next point is tips. I can pretty much guarantee anyone who drives a Tesla for rideshare, whether it be an X, S, or 3, is probably making more in tip money than your average rideshare driver. Just like I said, for the coolness factor, Teslas have they just have that simplistic design that a lot of people appreciate, and the car is like so quiet and fast, and the leather, even the white leather. I'm not a huge fan of white leather. Just saying that right now. But like on the Tesla I rode in, I'm super cool. Obviously, I think the passengers would really appreciate getting a ride in a Tesla, and are probably more likely to leave a tip, even if your service isn't that great. But you're probably going to see a pretty sharp increase in tip revenue by driving a Tesla, especially Model 3 because they're new and cool and all that stuff. I have another point I want to make on this. Oh yeah, like all the all the car enthusiasts are pretty likely to leave a tip. All the Tesla enthusiasts obviously will leave a tip. Um, all the crazy millennials who are trying to save the planet, they're more likely to leave a tip. So there you go. That's one of the obvious benefits of owning a Tesla and being a rideshare driver with it is tip money. The third one is obviously the most obvious. The most obvious one is you won't be spending a nickel on gas. You will be spending money on supercharging if you don't charge it at home. But my buddy Jonathan said he charges it fully at this one place for like $13. And since he isn't like a full-time driver, he's only got to pay that much like every other day. That's really not bad. But like I said, if you're a full timer, then maybe even $10 a day to charge your Tesla, that's negligible. That's next to nothing. Um, that's a third of what I spent on fuel. That's what I spent on fuel. I drive a Infiniti QX60, so I drive a large SUV. That's not a hybrid. So obviously, that's one of the probably the biggest benefit to an EV is the the gas savings. You're gonna be saving a lot on gas, and that's cool. I know. I think that's awesome. Um, but those are the obvious pros right now. There might be a few that come to me later as I'm making this video, but right now those are the obvious ones. Right now, and now we're gonna move on to the cons. Right, these are the drawbacks of having a Tesla. All right, or using one as a rideshare car full time. The first one is reliability. I'm not saying Teslas are not reliable. All I'm saying is my buddy Jonathan told me that his headlight burnt. Sorry, his headlight, one of his front headlights burned out, and his windshield wiper motors went out at less than 20,000 miles, and that took a couple weeks to repair because it's not the easiest. Like taking your car in to get repaired and all this stuff. There's like a backlog because they just haven't really. Tesla hasn't really kept up with the maintenance. Like you don't just walk in and out of a repair shop. You got to make an appointment and all that stuff. And then he said he was sideswiped, and it took 2 months to correct the body damage on his Tesla. 2 months. That's a lot. Like if it was a severe accident, let's say the door was mangled up, right? And the body shop won't fix it for 2 months. That's 2 months without a car, right? Most of the cars, you can probably get that fixed in a week. But since it's a Tesla, it's more complicated. Yeah, so that's obviously I'm not saying Teslas are unreliable vehicles. All I'm saying is if you drive one full time and you get sideswiped and you're out of work for 2 months, you're gonna get pissed, right? The second one is the fact of the point of my first video is the door handles, right? And again, I want to reiterate, this is from the perspective of a full-time rideshare driver. If you are a full-time rideshare driver, you're doing economy rides, you're going to be doing anywhere from 100 to 150 pickups per week. That's 100 to 150 different people you're going to have to explain how to get in and out of a car. Okay? I'm not saying the door handles are shit or whatever. And again, a driver did explain in a screenshot how frustrating they are. I don't think I understand why the door handles are like that. I do, but I do think they are annoying. And if you're doing pools, which means you're having 3 or 4 people get in the car for one ride, it's going to be a headache, right? The third reason why it's a con is the price tag. The long range Tesla 3, I believe, is $52,000. For delivery and all that stuff, and the short range one I think is like 43, 44. Even the short range model, right? That's a lot of money to be spending on a car to drive for Uber and Lyft. Now, this is like I said, this is for a full-time driver. If you have a Tesla 3, God, what an annoying cough. If you have a Tesla 3, or if you have a Tesla and you just want to have fun with it on the weekends, just drive around, make a little bit of money on the weekends, educate people on how cool Teslas are, awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a stupid cat trying to get its way on camera. Say hi, Smush. You're not Smush. Oh, you're Grizz. Hi. If you want to have fun driving around your Tesla 3, make some money on the weekends or whatever, fine. I don't have a single issue with that. That's 100% okay. from a full-time perspective, it's a bad business move to be spending that much money on a car when you only stand to make you're gonna be making as much money as the next driver. You're gonna be making more tip revenue, but you're only gonna be making as much money as the person driving a 2008 Corolla, a 2013 Accord. You're making the same amount as the next guy, right? And it's in my opinion, it's a bad move. It's a bad business move to attempt to um, it's a bad business move to attempt to spend that much money on a car to make as much as the guy who's driving a 2011 Volkswagen Passat, right? So that's all I want to say about that. So that's the cons, right? And this is where I'm going to say I'm going to change things up, and I'm going to say the Tesla Model 3 or any kind of Tesla in the future could be the perfect rideshare car. It could be, with a couple small improvements, right? It'd have to take some effort from all bodies, but I do think the Tesla Model 3 or even any kind of, I think EVs are the wave of the future. I really do. But there's a couple things that definitely need to be addressed. All right. First, I think it'd be super cool, right? If Tesla, they have the Model 3 has the big touchscreen in the middle of the car, right? If you could somehow access like third-party apps on the touchscreen, if you could run the Uber app on the touchscreen, if you run the Lyft app on the touchscreen, that would be awesome. That would be so fucking awesome. I mean, that makes me smile just thinking about it. I would love to be able to drive around a Tesla, right? And I'm running the Uber app off the screen. Like that would be. I mean, it's like that'd be the future. We'd be living in the future. Like obviously, rideshare apps didn't exist 7 years ago. Now with this literally, it'd be like a spaceship. It'd be so cool. That's one thing I would love to see. That'd be a huge improvement if Tesla could allow third-party apps like that to operate on their touchscreen in the middle of the car. The second thing I'm going to say for Teslas, it doesn't seem like they're getting away from the push the thumb in to release the door latch. So if you're able to, I know you could do it on the S. On the Model 3, if you were able to open the door latches from the touchscreen, that would be awesome. That would be such a huge improvement on what's currently available with the Tesla 3s. Like I said, I know a lot of you are upset because I don't like the door handles for rideshare. They didn't design this car with rideshare in mind. It's not their fault. All I'm saying is if you're going to be picking up passengers 20, 30 times a day, you probably don't want to deal with the headache of those door handles. If you were able to just push a button and release the latch, then everyone's happy. That problem is fixed. I definitely want to see that. The third thing is, unfortunately, this is where it doesn't make sense financially to drive a Tesla 3 because the rates are just too low around the country. In Chicago, it's 64 cents per mile. So you're spending thousands to earn pennies. It's a bad move. It's a bad business move in terms of full-time rideshare driving. Again, like I said, if you own one and you drive one on the weekends, awesome. Your struggle is different than the struggle of a full-time driver. You're gonna have a lot of fun. You're gonna tell a lot of funny stories. You're gonna enjoy yourself with your Tesla on the weekends. But in terms of full-time rideshare driving, it's just not a good business move to go out and purchase one with the intention of using it full-time. It's because the rates are too low. If the rates were $1.25, $1.50 per mile, and you stood to make $1,500 to $2,000 a week in 5 days, why not? Your car payment is, half of 1 week. That's fine. But now, if you're doing rideshare, we beat up these cars really bad, guys. Those of you who are Tesla people who aren't rideshare drivers, we beat the fuck out of these cars. So, I mean, even with the warranty and supposedly the engines on the Tesla and the batteries are good for 500,000 to 1 million miles, that doesn't mean the whole car is going to last that long. right? Like with the amount of miles a full-time driver puts on a car, I put on anywhere from 65 to 80,000 miles per year. There's no telling how long like a car is going to last with that kind of abuse. So it's a bad business move to purchase a 42 or $52,000 car to make as little as some drivers do. So that's all I got for this one, guys. I wanted to correct my opinion on the Teslas. I want to know, what do you guys think? Am I still a fucking crazy idiot? I don't see the future, right? Like I said, I'm a huge fan of the cars. They're super cool. I just don't think they're the best fit for a full-time rideshare driver. If you want to drive one, if you have one, you own one, and you drive on the weekends, awesome. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. I do think EVs are the wave of the future. Definitely more and more drivers are going to be getting away from combustible engines in the coming decades. But as of right now, they're not the best fit for rideshare. Maybe the Chevy Volt, whichever one is out there right now, seems cool. I would personally not. It just doesn't look comfortable. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Let me know what you guys think. Longer video than usual, but it happens. I want to thank you all for watching. Everyone, please stay safe, stay driven, stay classy. I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.